Welcome back to Dicing with Death, everybody. It's nighttime. The camp is asleep.
And horse theft is punishable by death.
Yes, it is.
By all the laws of this land, this man's soul is mine. Probably all of his accomplices as well.
Yes, technically.
So I slide open the tent flap.
The man's asleep.
Dagger in hand, I take a look over my shoulder.
Yeah,
They never lit a fire, did they?
They did. It's just embers
Did they?
now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the other tents are closed.
Yep.
I slip into this tent,
Okay.
crawl towards the man.
You crawl towards the man, and there's a sudden flash of movement. Roll me initiative. He has passed his wildly unlikely perception check to be woken. I guess it's not that wild.
8. How high is this tent? Like, are we actually crouching, or?
Yeah, you're definitely crouching. It's like 3 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you rolled an 8 for initiative.
Yeah.
He grabs the dagger or knife from under his pillow and lurches
Why do all
towards
of your
you.
NPCs sleep with knives under their pillows?
He's a bandit. Are you?
This is how Wilhelm died.
Is it?
Yeah.
He makes a lunge at you. Oh, it's all inside with the knife.
I think we're all fighting. Because it's dark, but I guess the penalties and bonuses cancel.
Yeah.
Minus 2 to hit, minus 2 to AC.
Yeah, I think at this much darkness, it's actually minus 4 to hit. But it's a small area in this tent, so it's pretty... Like, you know where your target is, you just... Yeah, so the penalties cancel. He stabs at you. It misses. You can hear it slashing through the tent fabric.
Mm-hmm. So we're ignoring darkness because it's symmetric.
Right.
I go.
Yep.
Missed.
You stab at him as well. He gives a cry, and you hear fumbling in the other nearby tents.
Motherfucker.
Roll me initiative.
12.
12, okay. So, you hear the sound of fabric rustling out in the campsite behind you.
If I can, I would like to maneuver so that I'm not at the tent entrance. But I don't know if that's feasible. As in, so if these guys join the tent, I would like to circle around inside the tent.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of room to do that in here. You hear the sound of people getting their shit together, and there's a guy saying, "Help!" The person in your tent, "Help! Someone in here!" There's cursing coming outside, and then a light flares up near the fire, and then gets held higher. It looks like someone lit a torch in the remaining embers and brandished it.
This is just filtered light coming in through the tent.
Yeah.
I'm now inside the tent.
You're inside the tent.
We're probably crawling around on all fours, going after each other with knives.
Right.
Tell me again how this old fat wizard tripped in the plains. Does he make an attack?
He doesn't get to go yet. The torch gets lit. Oh, no, he actually does go. Yeah, yeah.
It would just have woken up. Do they even... Okay, whatever. Yeah. One of them takes a round to light the torch. Does the other come bursting in?
The other one hasn't gone yet. The man with the knife goes next, makes a stab at you. You can feel it stabbing part of your robes into the ground. It's your turn at 12.
Fucker.
Hit.
2. Low HP.
That is enough. You hear him gurgle as he collapses into the ground. You also hear the familiar noise of a crossbow being locked and loaded. And then a voice cries, "Stop moving or I'll pump you full of quarrels."
Silence. Next round initiative. 7.
What is crossbow speed? I think crossbow speed is 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7. Crossbow 7 and 6 and club speed is 4. So you go first.
Okay. I harvest this guy's soul. Load it into the central gem slot.
Okay.
So I cut whatever wound I dealt him a little wider and shoved the amulet in.
Red lights bead around you inside the tent, probably casting an eerie glow on the outside. You hear the twang of a bowstring.
He just like shoots it into the tent. Like
Yes,
out the
he
tent.
does.
I think I'm full cover, and it's dark. But I guess the darkness penalties can't. He can't even see me.
No, he's just blindly shooting into the
So
tent.
I think it'll be like -4 to hit at least from the cover. I
Yeah.
don't know how you want to do darkness. I guess darkness is the same as can't see.
Right, but see, they've got some light. They can see the tent. I think he.
now
rolled your AC's 10 though, right?
Yes, my AC is 10.
Okay, so he rolled a natural 16. He gets no modifiers. I think even with if you were to do a penalty 4 to hit from darkness,
Okay,
+2 for back attack.
I'd be facing the front of the tent.
Not when you're harvesting a man's soul.
I finished that. Combat
Okay,
modifier, so
still
let's
that
see.
would be a 12 against 10 AC is still a hit.
Target is prone or sitting or kneeling gets me bonus.
That's true. What's the bonus for?
2 for sitting or kneeling. 4. So I'm probably sitting kneeling,
Okay.
which is 2. No light / invisible is 4. Like he can't see me. So that's
Right.
6. And there should be cover, right? There's
The
cover.
concealment is basically the same as invisibility, though, because that's what you've got is concealment, not
Okay.
cover. So that's
How is it not
still
covered as a... Okay.
that still brings it to a 10 against your 10 AC. So the quarrel hits you for
Whatever.
5 points of
I'll just-
damage.
I'll just spam some bears in chat.
The quarrel hits you for 5, and another hand comes and starts tugging at the tent, trying to rip it off of its frame. Someone calls out, "Buck! Buck, are you still alive?"
Buck is dead. I had no quarrel with you, but you have brought upon my wrath. Initiative?
Initiative. The torchlight gets brighter, and you see the tent catch fire.
Perfect. I need that flame.
Oh, shit, that's creepy as fuck.
I really
Initiative.
do. Damn, initiative 9.
Um,
I'm casting a spell.
okay. The tent catches fire and goes up. You go next.
4 I can go. I toss a bit of gauze into the flame, creating a wisp of smoke, assuming my wraith form. Wizard and all of his gear becomes insubstantial. Caster is only subject to magical or special attacks. Doing +1. I think fire does count. Can pass through small cracks or narrow openings, even mere cracks. I think I just slip out the side of the tent that's not on fire.
Okay. Does this mean can you still fight like this?
I can't. No, I can't deliver. Hold on a sec. No form of attack is possible when in wraith form except against creatures, but I think I can cast spells as a wraith, right? No form of attack is possible when in wraith form except against creatures that exist both on the ethereal plane. All attacks both ways are normal. Right, so I think I can still cast spells.
I think you can still cast spells, but I think any physical attacks would kind of you're not quite on the same plane of existence, but I think your spell casting's still fine.
So magic weapons can attack a wraith, but a wraith with magic weapons can't attack.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that's what I understand from reading the spell, but it seems...
That's what I understand as well.
You said 5 points of damage I took from that
Yeah.
quarrel.
I think if you have a magic weapon of +1 or better, you should be able to strike back into the physical plane.
Okay.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, because you're on the ethereal plane, which you need a magic weapon to cross that boundary, and I think it counts both ways. because you're half in.
That seems logical.
It seems logical to me.
Okay. But I think I'll cast a Burning Hands.
Okay.
But that's next round. So I slip out from under the tent, and like this incorporeal form shifts up behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if maybe they don't even notice. Maybe I just blend in with the smoke.
You
Chat
see,
does point out that when I threw a torch at the wraith, it went right through it. So maybe wraiths are not damaged by fire.
I don't think wraiths are damaged by fire. It doesn't say anything about fire in that spell.
It says magic or special attacks. So
I think
that
that's
means,
like
breath weapons.
Yeah. From your position outside the tent, you can see one guy had a torch very near the tent, and he's got a club raised while he stands over the center of the tent, ready for you to move so he can bash you.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy has finally got the next quarrel aimed and fires it into the tent again.
How far behind the first guy is he?
15 feet.
Okay, so not close enough to Burning Hands,
Not together in one.
but close enough to just start a forest fire with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I haven't cast it yet. Okay,
All right.
So next round.
Next
No,
round.
the first guy set fire that round. The second guy has a ready action with a quarrel. He can shoot into the tent if he wants.
Yeah, they shot his second round at the tent,
Okay.
expecting you to still be in there. The other guy has a ready attack with his club aimed for the tent.
9.
Ready attack stays. You go.
All right. I think I slink behind them as a wraith.
The shadows are yours.
Go for the horse! Get out while you can! They turn, see the wraith behind them, clutching an incorporeal glass rod, rubbing it with my fur, and I just throw the most unnecessary lightning bolt in the world at the
Oh
two
my
guys.
god. The lightning bolt crashes through the forest, ripping the two men to shreds,
21 points of damage.
shattering trees and bouncing all around you and the campsite. The horse rears, scared shitless by the lightning bolt. Tries to run, but its reins are tied to something. The horse is panicking.
I guess there will be no witnesses, will there?
There are no witnesses.
Tell my tale.
These men are overkilled. We could check to see if they rolled their saves. One of them passes his save for spell.
Only takes 10 points of damage.
Yep. He had 4 HP, so he's not fully dead yet. But they're gone. Some of the trees are on fire. What do you do?
Does it look like it'll be a major forest fire, or will it go out in a minute or two?
I don't think we know yet.
Okay.
We'll see how dry the bush is around here.
All right. Well, I end my wraith form and try to calm the horse.
You can end at will.
Yep. One of the few spells that specifically says you can end at will.
Nice. All right, you come over to the horse who's panicking. Do you have any animal handling or any of that stuff?
I have horse riding, but no animal handling.
Okay.
It's tied up, so if it seems like it's going to buck me, I'll give it its space.
Yeah, it's panicking pretty heavy.
I can't harvest souls, chat. I'm full.
You could cast spells and harvest more souls.
The
It takes a little while, but I think can you even calm the horse? I mean, it's tied to a tree that's on fire. It probably doesn't ever
tree
calm.
is on fire.
Yeah, a lot of trees are on fire because lightning bolt. For those of you that don't know, if the lightning bolt hits something, it will bounce off of it and kind of bounce around. So in a forest, it like hits these people and streaks, hits this tree, bounces, hits that one, just like lights all sorts of brush on fire as well.
Presumably, I aimed it so that it wouldn't bounce right back and hit me.
Right. I think you're gonna have to just hop on the wild horse and cut the reins off of whatever they're attached to if you want to get out of here on it. That's just a horseback riding check to mount the horse and be on it and take off.
Chat, calm the fuck down. My amulet is full, and I have one of each spell, and I have a soul in the middle. There's no more room. I'm fully charged. My stats are fully charged. I wanted to sleep in this. I need somewhere to sleep.
It's not going to be here.
Can I pack up one of their tents?
While the horse is straining against its reins?
Okay, fine. I'll go to calm the horse down, setting it free if I have to, but not unless I get control of it.
If you set it free, it's going to run.
I set it free and like
The
try
horse
to chase
bolts
it
through the
down.
woods.
Without a rider, I don't think it's just gonna run. It's been running hard all day.
Yeah, but then it got to rest for a few hours.
Okay.
Do you mount it before you cut it free, or do you cut it free?
If I can, if it'll let me.
If you give me a horseback riding check, you can mount it in its panicked state.
These guys are not trolls, chat. They're just you're the only trolls here. My horseback riding skill is 17.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I think it's like wisdom +4 or
Plus
something.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
14 wisdom. Such wise wizard. All right.
28.
You hop on the wild horse, cut the reins free from the tree that they're tied to. The horse bolts, but you can regain control of it as it runs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Georg has 14 wisdom. By the time he is an old man, he can dual class as a priest of Malchus if he so chooses.
yes.
So I ride the panicked horse through the woods.
Yes.
What's
You
that
make it
face?
north to the road. You see behind you the glowing...
Horse isn't. I'm encumbered, by the way. Like at some point, I would have had to unload. Actually, how many hours has it been? If it hasn't already, I'll need to rearrange my deep pockets. Shove shit into a backpack and.
How long does your deep pockets last?
18 hours.
Okay, yeah, well, we haven't hit that time yet.
And I guess I left it like yeah. Okay.
Because it's about like 11 at night,
Mhm.
and you would have deep pocketed at 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So at some point, I will. Once the horse calms down, I'll make myself a new camp, and by new camp, I mean just pass out in the woods somewhere.
Hmm.
Tie the horse up, snack on my rations, and unload my shit. I'm feeling like the baddest motherfucker in this forest, and I'm hoping that means no one will mess with me. I will make sure to be well and clear of any potential forest fires.
Sure. And luckily, you have a horse that will freak out if there's a danger of forest fire nearby and wake you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was overkill on some bandits, but I guess I got a ton of XP for casting all those spells.
I guess. You make your camp somewhere else in the forest and go to sleep.
Yes, indeed. Do I wake up in the morning?
Don't know if you get woken up in the morning or before the... Oh, that's why I have a table for this. I have tables for everything. Everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A few hours later, you're sleeping.
Middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You are
I get
aroused by the
get a perception
whinnying
check.
of your horse.
Okay. I sit up. What is it, boy?
You don't have a tent, do you?
No, I think I'm just like sleeping in a pile of my own shit. Not literally, but it's like all my random crap.
All right. Your horse is whinnying and neighing, and you hear the sound of branches being bent and things being trod under heavy feet.
I stand up, dagger in hand, and look
It's
in that
dark.
direction.
You can see a dim light from the south. Apparently, the forest fire has spread.
Okay. That's not
and
the creaking, though, is it?
it's not the
it's probably-
creaking.
I will light a torch, I guess, if I don't see anything in that over the course of that minute that it takes to light a torch.
No, but before as you dig out your torch from wherever it's stashed,
Mhm.
you can feel some slight tremors in the ground and breaking, and you hear some voices actually coming towards you,
Mhm.
loud, deep voices. Sounds like they're talking. What languages do you speak?
A lot of them.
I know.
Common, Elven, Dwarven, Gnomish, Halfling, Orc, Ogre, and Hobgoblin.
You hear two people talking in ogre.
2 ogres.
Well, you hear two
Right.
voices. God knows how many there really are. But they're
Mhm.
saying in ogre, "Well, I don't know where the fire came from, but we really should be heading this way. It burns us." And the other one
I think
says,
to that I reply in ogre. I might as well get ahead of this. As I'm lighting the torch, I shout in ogre, "I started the fire."
"Hmm."
And with this, like, and the torch goes up. For I am Georg.
You hear the sound of approaching feet, and kind of breaking through the branches and then stopping, maybe 15 feet away from you. Are
God, I really wish I had that lightning bolt still. I got nothing.
3 ogres that you can see. Your horse is pulling against its reins that are tied to this branch, and kind of freaking out. One of the ogres looming 9 feet tall, very thin but long, lanky arms, protruding chin, long, pointy nose, deep-set eyes, flat head.
Way bigger than the half ogre exchange student I met who taught me to speak this tongue.
Yes. The ogre squints his beady eyes at you and says, "Why you set my forest on fire?"
I switched to the language of magic, casting enlarge upon myself. Ooga the booga the abracadabra. Sliding some iron powder through my hair, growing 60% taller. So that's like,
How tall are you now?
um,
You were 5'10", was it?
yeah, 112, 9'3". I grow to about the size of an ogre.
9.3.
Yep.
So that's 9.4. Yeah, so you're about ogre size. You just the 2 ogres stand back a moment. Your torch, I guess, gets larger,
Yeah.
and they fire on the torch. It's a little bit larger, shedding a little bit more light. And you see behind these 3 are 2 more ogres. There's 5 of them. They stumble back a little bit.
I did not intend to burn your forest, speaking ogre once again, but I was angered by some puny human bandits in these woods.
The little ones, they get underfoot, but they make great meals and excellent toothpicks.
Well,
Are
find
you
3.
Are you an ogre who shapes as a man, or a man who shapes as an ogre?
Neither, and both. I am not of this dimension. I am Georg, the Dimensionalist. Is there even a word for Dimensionalist in ogre?
No.
I make it up.
A low growl emanates from them. Let's give a... What is your reaction adjust for your charisma?
None. 11 charisma.
I think you...
Maybe some bonus for being enlarged, for speaking their language. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, they look at you. One of them steps a little bit forward, presumably the leader, and says, "You would do well not to set the forest on fire. Are you..." He says the word for ogre mage. It's a specific phrase. It's not ogre mage. It's like its own sub race, basically. Are you magi?
I will say that I am. I will say I am magi using the words that he used, but I am not. But I am not an ogre.
You are the size of one.
It's all a matter of perspective.
He doesn't like this word. He seems a little confused. He looks back to his friends. He looks back to you. Seemingly unsure of how to deal with this strange, growing person who sets his forest on fire, but who's a wizard.
I think that means it was an ambiguous reaction to just roll.
Yeah, he's indifferent and concerned at the same time.
Indifferent seems like he should leave me alone.
Maybe. Do not set the forest on fire again. Next time, we will grind your bones like those of men and make our bread with them again.
Indeed. Georg will not make the same mistake twice. I'm sorry for what I have done to your forest.
Krakow accepts your apologies. The ogres curve around you and disappear northward into the forest. You can hear them talking as they vanish off into the woods, and you can go back to sleep.
I wonder how many souls ogres have as I go back to sleep.
Okay. You wake up some hours later.
Okay. Spend a long time memorizing spells.
There's a thin film of ash over everything. Very,
Yeah.
very thin, because you're underneath the canopy, so there's just a little bit of ash on everything.
Let me count up spell levels real quick. 1, 2... 8, 11 spell levels so far. Do you want to jot that down, or should I?
You can do it. 11 spell levels.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess lightning bolt, gaseous form,
And blink.
blink, and rope trick.
Color spray. I didn't cast rope trick.
You
Color
did, but
spray.
it didn't overcome any problems with it. You did it while you were waiting for the displacer beasts.
Oh, yeah. Color spray and
Right.
enlarged.
Right. Okay.
I will memorize reduce. I still have detect magic. I'll rememorize color spray. Still have feather fall. Rememorize burning hands. Rememorize and cast deep pockets. Rememorize blink, lightning bolt, and wraith form. Maybe I
Okay.
should grab a phantom steed, but no. Okay. And next morning, I'll hop aboard my horse and continue on towards Thornwood.
You get to Thornwood.
How fiery is the fire?
You can't see any flames from where you are,
Okay.
but there are thick clouds overhead that look
Okay.
like ash clouds. You arrive in Thornwood, and it is the talk of the town. The guards at the gate ask you if you saw any fire along the road.
Not on the road, south of the road. And I like sort of point vaguely towards the billowing clouds of smoke.
They nod excitedly.
Mhm.
God, I hope it's not like the last time. Almost burned
Has this
down the
happened
town.
before?
Yeah, well, 60 years ago or so, there was a forest fire. This time it was in the east. It stopped by the river. Nasty
60
one.
years. How old is this guy?
He's young. This definitely was before his time.
Yeah. Okay. I think I will slip past them with as little talking as I can. If
Yeah, it's fine. They let you in. They see your sigil. They understand who you are.
they do.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I wanted that to happen, but very well.
Well, you got your robes. You got your big sigil on your chest. They use the appropriate terms of whatever.
Okay. I will stop. Which inns were there in town again? I had my reserved room at the Knolls, whatever, unless they've replaced the door.
At the Hobgoblin Head.
No, that's in Redport. At the it was like the Knolls, the Sleeping Knoll.
Oh, the Sleeping Knoll. Sounds about
I
right.
think I'm probably allowed in the nicer inn at this point.
So There's the Sleepy Knoll, Shagwarts, and the Bear Cave.
Bear Cave. I think I can go back. I'm going to try going back to the Bear Cave and seeing if I will be allowed.
All right. The first 2 floors of the Bear Cave are made of brick, just like most things here. It's got the red brick wall that surrounds the town. It's got a moat around that. A lot of the buildings here are brick, and the rest of them are wood. The older ones are all brick, and this is one that is half brick, half wood. The innkeeper gives you a polite bow as you step in, and says, "Welcome to the Bear Cave, my lord. What can I do for you?"
Need a room for the night and a stable for the horse.
Of course. This guy looks younger than the last guy that you saw that was running the Bear Cave. Maybe it's his son? You don't know.
Okay. He doesn't recognize me, or
This person doesn't seem to
I think I was
recognize you.
forbidden. I think I was kicked out of the Bear Cave for pissing off Lady Red Shield, but it seems like it's not going to be an issue.
Or maybe at least the clerk on duty doesn't seem to.
In any case, I stable my horse, and then I will spend the day investigating.
Okay.
I think I want to head first to Red Shield Manor and see what's become of the place.
Good. So you arrive at Red Shield Manor.
Is it abandoned, or is someone else taking it over?
The gate is shut and locked with a chain that has a big lock on it. And it's chained with a big padlock resting on it. Peering through the gates, it looks like the yard is slightly overgrown, like it's been untended. No.
Well, knock, knock, knock. I utter my magic words and cast my knock spell.
The padlock unopens and the gate knocks open. The chain unravels itself and lands on the ground.
Pushing the gates open, I stride up the path through the garden.
Yeah.
You
You go past the fountain, past the garden gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
Make your way into the foyer. There's that staircase to the right, some doors below you,
Hold on
door
a
to your
sec.
left.
I wanted to cast to detect magic before entering the house, so I guess you lasts 2 rounds per level, so 12 rounds per level.
You notice
It's
there
60 feet long. So how far is the fountain from the entrance to the door?
the gate to the door is 35 feet. The fountain's about halfway between them.
Okay,
So from
I
fountain
guess
to
before
doors.
so I think from the gate I'll cast my detect magic spell.
Okay. And it extends 60 feet?
60 feet. Yeah. It is by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, or 1 yard of wood.
Okay. You detect... So you can detect magic up to 25 feet inside the house.
Yes.
I
guess. Yeah, I was mostly interested in here from like scoping out any potential traps on the front door, which I guess you
No.
already.
There are no
Well,
traps on the front door.
The fountain isn't magical, or
No, there's nothing magical in the yard or anything around here.
Okay. So then I will approach the front door.
Okay, as you get to the front door, I take it you stop and detect,
Yeah,
continue.
I've got 12 minutes of detect magic, so I'm planning on like surveying the scene. I'm mostly doing this cautiously to avoid any potential traps that Lady Redshield may have left before leaving.
There is something magical, indeed, on the second story in the back right corner, which you remember as her office. There's something magical. There's a magical aura, a very small one,
Okay.
maybe a foot by 8 inches.
I will enter the house and search the place. And then eventually
So,
head up to that room.
well, I need to read the detect magic spell a little more
Yeah, so
closely.
it can only face one direction at a time. Okay, so a path 10 feet wide and up to 60 feet long. I can turn, scanning a 60-degree arc per round. Doesn't give me a height, but
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Would you notice things on the second story?
I don't think so. But I think I've got 12 minutes. It takes me 6 minutes to do a full 360. But if I start at the front of the house, I could do 180. How deep? The house is less than 60 feet deep, right? So I think I would start at the front of the house, scan 180, so scan the whole house,
Hmm.
go to the second floor, stand against the back wall, and scan another 180. That's
Okay.
on 180 in 3 rounds. So it's probably when I'm on the second floor that I. So the first floor I don't detect anything.
Yeah, there's no magic on the first floor.
Like 5 minutes have passed, then I would go up the stairs to the second floor, back to the wall, and then do a 180-degree arc.
Right.
Scanning.
You notice just the one bit of magic on the second floor in the office.
Okay. All right. Then I will quit the slow scan and head towards that office.
You come into the office. There's her desk, her chair, a small bookshelf beside her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where she would sit.
Where is the magic coming from?
The magic is coming from a drawer on the desk.
The drawer itself, or something inside?
A drawer is wizard locked shut, you presume, or somehow magically locked. Or maybe it's magically trapped. You don't know, but there's a drawer that has magic aura all around the drawer itself. Could be a trap,
All right.
could be a lock. She did fire trap something in here once upon a time. Almost killed you.
Yep.
Luckiest dice rolls.
I've already cast my only knock. I do have a reduce. What's the range on reduce? I'm thinking about like shrinking the door and bursting it off of its hinges. 5 yards per level, so 30 yards. I could like back out to just so I can just see it, and
Well, you would only be able to see the drawer from inside of her, from behind the desk, you know?
Mhm.
So you couldn't back up that far. You could get maybe 2 yards from the drawer.
if I shrink the drawer, do its contents shrink, or would it like shrink and spill anything inside all over the place?
You're gonna have to find out.
Or do I just wait and come back tomorrow with a knock spell? Do I remember how big the fire trap was that blew up? What's his name? It's like 15 feet or something.
I think it was a 10-foot radius.
Okay. So I think I will turn the desk so that it's facing the doorway,
Okay.
so that I can see the drawer. from the
Clever.
doorway. And then back up. Well,
Back up and
back up like down the hall,
Mhm.
so I can like just peer through the doorway from as far away as I can. How far away can I get from?
you can get 15 feet.
Okay. All right. Hopefully that's
And
fine.
like
then,
3/4 cover.
yeah, like hiding from peering from around the corner, and
Mhm.
I toss my iron powder and shrink the drawer. I think I want to shrink it. I'll only shrink it like 10%, just enough to like break the lock or whatever.
The the drawer, the top of it remains latched to something. No, actually, if you shrink all the,
I mean, it could
Yeah, it-
shrink and
yeah.
stay.
it
stuck
shrinks and
at
like
the
it's
top.
instead of being like a flat drawer, it's now like hanging slightly down. If this is the
But it's-
front right here,
But it's
yeah.
still like stuck at the top, or is it?
it's stuck at the top and hanging slightly. So it would
mag-
slide out this
magically
way.
stuck? Magically stuck, it looks like, or does it look like it's still just hanging on its latch?
It just looks like it's hanging on the latch.
Not even close to what I wanted.
But it looks like you could easily take it off. Like,
Yeah, I approach it and take a look.
you can easily see
So
that it's just
enlarge
hanging
does-
by the
it's-
locking
it
mechanism.
says It changes size and weight.
Okay. It looks like it's just hanging from the locking mechanism.
Okay, but there's still the magic aura radiating on the drawer itself.
Yes.
Can I see anything inside the drawer from here? No.
No, not from the angle it's hanging. You can see like the base of the drawer.
Yeah. It's actively like it's locked.
Do you try
I
it?
guess I don't. No. I think I'll come back tomorrow with a knock.
Okay.
Suspicious and cautious. I will continue to search the house. Maybe any notes or letters in the study indicating where she would have gone.
No, it looks like the house has been pretty thoroughly searched already.
Yeah.
Some rooms are kind of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception is 12?
12. Yep, 12 perception.
Ooh. All right, so while you were searching her bedroom, you notice what?
Of course.
No. You notice that nightstand on which the book was sitting before when you opened it. There's something a little bit off about the bookshelf or the nightstand. Like it's a solid block nightstand. It doesn't have like legs on the ground, but it looks a little bit. How do you want to say this? Like it's
So it's a secret compartment. The dimensions don't line up, or it's not magic, right? I would have detected it.
no, it's not magical. Oh, God, I'm trying to figure out how to properly describe this situation.
Well, I mean,
It looks like the boards at the base of the nightstand like end awkwardly. Like it's a wooden floor, and it looks like the wooden floor. Like the boards don't go the
floorboards
full
don't line up.
extent. Yeah, they don't line up at the base of the nightstand.
I move the nightstand.
All right, it has it's awkward to move it. It seems like it's butting up against something. You actually have to end up like tilting it and dragging it to get it off. And you see that there is a handle stuck to the floor below the nightstand.
I open the door.
It is a trapdoor. It opens, and there is a ladder that descends downward in a straight shaft. Looks maybe 15 feet deep.
I light a torch and drop it down the shaft.
Actually, you don't need to light a torch. You can see all the way down. It appears to be lit from inside.
It does.
Yes.
I think I pull out Carl, either holding it in my hand or placing it between my teeth, and climb down the ladder.
Okay. Oh boy.
What is this? I'm descending beneath some stone.
You're descending beneath wood.
I'm Yeah, so if there were magic here, I wouldn't have detected it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what
That's why I can't find it. Give me 1 sec to pull up my super secret hidden notes.
Yeah.
Okay. You head down into what can only be described as Annabelle Redshield's secret laboratory.
Secret wizards.
Secret wizards indeed. The entire room is magically lit. There is no source of light. There are desks with all sorts of papers and notes. There are bookshelves filled with books on all sorts of arcane subjects. There appears to be a potion holder that is emptied of potions. And there are clearly a shelf of books that has like some extra decorative things on it, on which the books have been removed. You get the distinct impression that before she fled, she managed to take these things.
All right.
Her most precious possessions seem to be missing, but there is a great wealth of books and knowledge here. There are all sorts of personal notes on arcane, plans about the future, plans about, well, just magical stuff. It's a wizard's library and laboratory that has been abandoned in a very nice part of town. Secret laboratory.
So yeah, Georg's like a kid in a candy shop. I think I will clutch the amulet of Malchus and activate True Seeing.
You see things for how they truly are.
Yes, my eyes go wide and turn purple, and again, like a kid in a candy shop, but now I see things as they are. So I'm sure I see the magical light. Is there any other magic in this room or any traps to be aware of?
There is no magic in this room. There are no traps in this room. What am I looking for?
Secret doors, which I guess I already found.
Oh, right.
Invisible things, illusions, polymorph, enchanted things.
Here we go. They actually are. The spell penetrates normal. Secret doors are complaining. The exact location of displaced things is obvious. Yeah, you see where there should have been 4 books. Those books are missing. Where there should have been 6 potions. Those potions are missing. Blah, 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 blah.
So basically, books for my library and
yeah,
equipment for the lab if I can find a way to get it out of here.
Annabelle Redshield's been funding an entire library and getting all sorts of books translated and borrowed and copied. And she has a semi-complete library.
How many books are in here?
A couple hundred.
Jesus, so I'm not going to be sneaking these out in my deep pockets.
No.
Well, I will be coming back here with a cart. I resurface.
Okay. Do you reposition the...
Yeah, I reposition the door. If I had a wizard lock, I'd probably lock it up.
All right.
Shut the trapdoor, pull the bookshelf back into place. I guess while I've got True Seeing engaged, I will wander around the house, see if there's anything that I missed.
No, everything else looks pretty ransacked.
Yeah, wander around the garden, see if there's any secrets in the statues or anything.
No.
Then head back to the street.
Okay. You arrive back in the street. Okay, that's it. You arrive back in the street.
I shut the gate behind me, but I guess I leave it unlocked.
Right. Where do you go?
I guess I will be heading to the keep.
Okay. You push your way through town.
I guess first order of business, I will just ask straight up if I can speak with the Lord and ask about these prisoners. Do I know names? I just know Marjorie, right?
Correct. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, so you asked to see Countess Castilian.
Yep.
The guard at the gate nods and says, "We were expecting you."
You
Ark Carl.
You were?
Why, yes. Word arrived that you had come into town over an hour ago. We were wondering...
Yes, of course. I was just getting my horse situated.
Of course. Right this way.
No rush. Let me know when the lady is available.
Please follow me. He leads you into a fanciful parlor inside the castle, the keep, really. Mm-hmm. The sounds of the town outside drain away. It's just you in here. And then 15-20 minutes later, you are told that you may see Countess Castilian. It is... What day is it? It is a Monday. And it's probably mid-afternoon by now. So she's done with her morning... not council. What the fuck is it called when you hear the grievances of your people? Court. Yes, she's done with her morning court. and you are brought to her in a different parlor in a different part of the keep.
Mm-hmm.
She is sitting. Behind her stands a knight, her personal bodyguard, you presume.
Half-elven lady warrior, right? Where I've only seen in my mind's eye.
Uh, yes. Yes, Captain Erica Larkhorn.
Mm-hmm. She had a glaive or something crazy?
She has a spear.
Okay.
Your magicness, your true seeing thing is done,
Yeah,
right?
it's expired. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would not see the lady with glowing purple eyes.
No.
Right.
But I want to say that Erica Larkhorn is wearing field plate made of steel. She's
Mhm.
got a medium shield that's wooden rimmed with iron. It has a holy symbol of Martha on one side and a stair on the other.
Mhm.
She is wearing this greenish metal ring around one of her fingers on the outside of her gauntlet.
Hmm.
She's got a steel short sword on one hip, a steel dagger on the other. I guess you can't see the blades, but they look like they're high quality weapons.
Mhm.
And she has this wonderful spear in her hand. The haft is made of white oak, wrapped in blue, what looks to be dragon scale bindings, and the tip is the silvered. It looks like, or made of silver, and
Okay.
it actually gleams in the dim light or
All
moderate
right.
light of the room.
All right. I step forward and bow deeply, um, glancing sideways at Sir Erica.
I do want to say
Oh,
I
yeah.
completely I gave you the wrong description of the shield. I'm just going to correct it. I know it's a minor point, but this is important to me to get these
Mhm.
details right. The shield is a deep green kite shield with 4 yellow swirls emanating from its boss. It's
Yeah.
made out of
So,
steel and and its edge is ribbed with brass bumps.
so it is not a holy symbol.
No, it is not a holy symbol.
All right. So I bow deeply. I thank you for seeing me, Lady Castilian. And then I sort of glance subconsciously at Sir Erica, but ignore her.
hmm
Rise from my bow and look back to the lady.
She gives you an
Um,
appropriate nod. What can I do for you?
I'm I am only here um, on some on a minor errand. Things have been quite busy in the West with wraiths and birthday parties. I've been quite behind in tracking down this Lady Red Shield.
Hmm.
But I refugee, if you will, turned up in Misty Rapids. A woman who claimed that she had been imprisoned by Lady Redshield, that in fact her mother and sister were still imprisoned. Um, it is as a favor to her and as part of my investigation that I come to you asking if you know of these people that are, well, I suppose now falsely imprisoned at the orders of Lady Redshield.
I'm unaware of specific prisoners. However, if you can provide the names, I can see what we can dig up.
I
As for
know
the
not the
wraiths, you should not worry about it. Erica here has dealt with most, if not all of them already.
you have. I look to her.
She
Well,
nods.
myself and our own Mother Ullman have dispatched a great deal, but, well, whenever one of the common folk falls, they seem to rise as one of these foul creatures.
Indeed. You would tell Baron Song for me that he should be more careful in the future. I believe word has come that these wraiths came from his land, from his excavations.
Just dissect land, to be specific, and 'twas the church, in fact, that dug it up. It was in the in the ruins of an old temple that
Hmm.
this curse resided.
Wow.
In fact, the late Father Ralmat was the first to fall to these abominations. But I think all of us have learned a great lesson.
Yes.
Not to trifle with old and cursed things.
Things that have been locked away have been typically locked away for a reason.
In any case, I do not know names of the prisoners specifically. Marjorie is the woman that came in Misty Rapids fleeing Lady Redshield. Be her mother and sister. I don't know if they have a family name. But I hope I'm not too presumptuous, but it seems prudent to clear the dungeons of anyone who was falsely imprisoned under the orders of Lady Redshield, considering recent events.
I could not agree more. One of my servants will show you to the dungeons, and one of the guards there should show you down. You can
Oh,
find who it is that you are looking for to free, and as long as the guards okay it, they are yours to take.
I nod. Have you heard anything more of the
The witch.
Lady Redshield, which, now that my schedule has freed up a bit, I will continue the hunt myself.
You can almost see the blood boiling in her. No. She has escaped us for now. Apparently, this is probably how she imprisoned these people falsely. She had one of our jailers under her thumb. We're still investigating how it is that he came to be in her employ instead of ours. But that's how she escaped. She got a good head start on the rest of us. Left her house abandoned. No one saw anyone by her description leaving town, so I assume she used her magic to flee. But her butler was missing as well.
Actually, her halfling, her butler, washed up dead in the barony in Lord Song's barony.
Before or after her, she fled.
Do I actually remember? That was before, right? I paused for a second, trying to remember. She sent assassins. I think that was before, right? Yeah, perhaps unrelated.
Dark times are coming, Carl. Have you heard of Anvil?
Anvil. I don't think so. I'm new to these lands. Is that north?
Northeast. It is a minor settlement, not a full town of very little importance. But apparently, Lord Carrick, as he styles himself these days, has conquered it. A former cleric turned bandit who armed himself with many men in the Firewood. They called themselves the Bastards of the Firewood, and they have conquered Anvil, put Baroness Largewise's head on a pike along with her wife and the sheriff of town, burned down another keep, including the people and family within, and the others in that barony have, well, they have all come to side with these bastards of the Firewood.
Dark times indeed.
Goblin raids have been increasing on our roads. Apparently there have been a serious bullywug problem down in Shirebrook, which is beyond my land, but still. Dark times are coming, Carl. The few of us that have the good of the world at heart should stand together. Can we count on you when the time comes?
Aye. You can count on me, and I would not presume to speak for my lord, but I would say you can count on Lord Song as well.
I hope so.
Under whose jurisdiction is this anvil? Is there to be...
Fortune. It's in Flat County. Fortune is the seat of it. It is beyond our jurisdiction, but they are on our borders. I have written to the Count, but I have not heard back.
Well, if you should need assistance in this matter, do not hesitate to send a letter our way.
She nods. One of my servants will show you to the guard, the jailer.
I nod.
She motions for a servant who was kind of skulking in the shadows, waiting for something.
Was that intentional that there were two female baronesses?
Baroness Adina Largewise and her wife?
Yeah.
That was what is said. Maybe Georg thinks it was a misspeak, or maybe otherwise.
Okay. All right, so I follow the servant into the dungeons.
Yeah,
That
you
was
get
easier
led to
than I
this.
thought. I was expecting to have to like wraith form my way in and perform some sneaky breakout.
No, man, this is the power that comes with titles. You know, a lot of people during the planning, when I say, "Oh, this sort of thing will lead to this sort of title, and this sort of thing will lead to that sort of title," people in chat are always like, "Titles are useless. They are so dumb. What a waste." No, man, you're titled. You get a position of rank and honor. You can free people from the jail just willy nilly. You can talk to the Countess about whatever you want. Titles are useful. Are the best you can get.
Okay.
Why don't before? Well, is there anything in particular in the dungeons you want to do, or do you just want to free them?
Is it that easy to just go down and be like, looking for Marjorie's mom and sister?
Yeah, it's going to be that easy.
I mean, should we deal with it after a break? Is that what you're thinking, or do you want to?
I'm just saying we can gloss over it entirely unless you have some specific conversations you'd like to make with them.
I guess it sounds like I don't need to. I mean, I would tell the guard I'm here to free some former prisoners that were falsely imprisoned. I guess I have to ask around, figure out who's Marjorie's...
Yeah, the guard helps you walk around. He bangs on the doors. He calls out people. Eventually you find this family huddled together in a jail cell, weak and famished. No, there's like 6 of them, I think. So,
6?
Yeah, it's Marjorie's sister,
I was
2
expecting
brothers,
Marjorie's...
niece
I
and
misunderstood.
nephew,
I was
parents.
Say that again. I was expecting Marjorie's sister and mother. And so I get there, and it's like a whole...
It's like a whole family. It's like her mother and her father, her sister, her 2 brothers, and her niece and nephew. What is that? That's
Jesus.
7 people? Yeah.
Is anyone else like screaming, I was falsely imprisoned by Lady Red Shield?
No,
I was too! Me too!
No, the guard is careful enough to be like, who's Marjorie's family? Mm-hmm. And then Marjorie's family pipes up and he asks a couple of questions and then seems satisfied and says, you guys are free to go. And other people rattle and complain, but,
It would probably be the right thing to do to figure out who was imprisoned by Lady Red Shield and let them go, but... Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say to them, Marjorie is safe in Misty Rapids. Is the sister alive?
Yeah, sister's alive.
Someone getting chased down by guards?
It was all a lie.
Oh, that's right.
All a lie.
I will be heading west on the morrow, likely, if you'd like an escort.
They say they live in town.
Oh. In that case, never mind.
Yep.
Would you like me to deliver any message to Margie?
Come home. We miss you.
Very well.
Also to remind Marjorie that the wedding is still on.
Wedding?
Wedding.
Is she engaged?
She's supposed to marry the butcher's son. Tell her
Very
she
well.
can't get out of it just because we were falsely imprisoned. As long as the butcher
Well-
still okay with it.
Falsely imprisoned. You did make a deal with the devil.
What? What? Who?
The witch.
I made no deal with no
witch
witch. We were dragged from our beds in the night. In fact, they don't even know anything about a witch, so you eventually... People get let in on the details and they're freed. Why don't we take our break here, and
Yeah.
we'll wrap up our session on the other side of our break. Ta-ta!